So, where have I been? I've been getting this question a lot, and over the last year or so, I haven't really been all that present on social media. On YouTube, I haven't really posted as much as I used to. On TikTok, not very much. And Instagram, only a couple stories and posts here and there. So in today's video, I'm gonna bring some context as to what's going on. The other day, I was scrolling through social media and I saw a video clip of someone interviewing Logan Paul on a podcast. Now I know he's pretty cringy and I almost swiped away, but what he actually said in the clip kind of resonated with me and I thought it would bring some light as to what's going on. He kind of perfectly describes as to why I'm not posting the way I used to. So here's a clip.
Why don't you post on YouTube as much? I mean, your podcast is always up, but like to go every day, now you're going like 8 months and it feels like it's getting longer and longer. Why is that?
So a lot of creators experience creator burnout, myself included. I realized why it happens. I was tired of pretending to be someone else. It's exhausting. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the... Shut up. Like, Joe, that's not me, dude. This is me. The podcast is me. I could do that podcast forever. I cannot watch content pre-2018 for me. I think it's a childish version of myself. I actually can't believe it's the same person.
All right, so let's get a little bit of background. I'm currently 20 years old. I'm almost 21 years old. I'm a full-time student in college, currently a junior, and I'm about to study abroad in a foreign country for the next 5 months. So there's a lot going on. To be honest, as I've grown older and matured, I've been pretty intentional as to where I'm spending my time. So at this point in life, I'm working on doing things and spending my time in ways that bring me value. So for example, with school, I do spend a lot of time getting really good grades because I think learning is important and getting good grades is an overall contributor to success. It's not a requirement, but it does something that contributes to success. I also spent a lot of time recruiting for internships and full-time jobs. I also spend time with those that I love since I think building relationships is so important. I do spend a lot of my time reading and listening to podcasts because I'm a big lifelong learner and I'm always seeking new information. And then I also spend a lot of my time working out and getting in good shape since I think physical health is so important. But anyway, you get the point. I'm very intentional with how I spend my time, and I do so in ways that give me the highest ROI or the highest return on my investment. Meaning for the amount of time that I spend on a certain activity delivers the maximum output or maximum value to me. When I started my YouTube channel back in 2015, I really didn't think anything of it. I just want to make fun yo-yo videos showing all the new tricks that I learned and come up with and also doing reviews on yo-yos that I owned. Then once brands started reaching out to me asking me to do reviews on my YouTube channel of their yo-yos, I realized I could turn this into a business. So my channel grew, I invested really heavy into the quality of my videos, and I realized that I could be known as the best yo-yo content creator out there. I can confidently say that in these videos that I post on YouTube right here, I can confidently say I've been myself. Sure, I definitely bring lots of energy to these videos because I don't want to be boring, but at the end of the day, the Jonathan you're seeing right here is the real Jonathan, or YoYoJoe. And it feels great to actually be talking to the camera in a way that I feel is normal. So at this point, 200 YouTube videos later, I still think that making reviews is really valuable and I do enjoy it. I think it's useful to have an unbiased review out there before a yo-yo player actually buys a yo-yo, and I think it does bring value to the yo-yo community, which in turn brings value to me. And the same goes for tutorials. I think tutorials are really helpful things. They're timeless, anyone can learn a new trick, and I think it brings value to the yo-yo community, which again brings value to me because it feels great to teach new tricks to new people. So the reason that I haven't been uploading so much of those types of videos is just because of the time commitment. I've been really busy and I've been prioritizing other things that I think are more critical to my future than those reviews right now. So then came 2020, and that was the rise of my TikTok. My growth was pretty much exponential. I really just started making videos doing fun yo-yo tricks to different sounds on TikToks and things like that. I never actually talked in the majority of my videos when I started up TikTok. It was more just me having fun with different TikTok sounds. And there was a point in time where I was technically the most popular TikTok yo-yo influencer out there, where I had the most followers. But then over time, other creators started passing me, and then I guess I kind of started falling behind in terms of followers. So this is when I absolutely lost myself trying to get more views. So I started talking to the camera in a weird way. I started, getting all close to the camera saying, "Do you want me to do the DNA with my largest yo-yo? Can I do this trick, the DNA, but with my first ever yo-yo? I'm not even sure if this is gonna work because my first ever yo-yo was just for beginners. Here we go." And I'm telling you, it felt so unnatural to do this. It felt so weird and terrible. And it's really just because at the end of the day, that wasn't me. I don't normally talk to people like, do you want me to do the DNA on a pencil? I honestly hated making those videos, and I hated even watching them back more so. To this day, I can barely watch those old TikToks of me just striving to get more views and followers. Now, in the end, those videos did perform decently well, but for what? I mean, I still hated watching them back, so why was I even creating them? So over time, I got a couple brand deals here and there. I made a little bit of money, but it's worth mentioning that yo-yoing and TikTok and all of this social media business stuff has always been a side hustle for me. And now I get it. So many people are gonna say, oh, like, don't go to school, you don't need school to be successful, and I agree, you don't need college to be successful. And to be honest, obviously, getting a degree does not guarantee you a good job. Getting a degree is not a requirement to get rich or successful. But I will say this for my case personally. Getting a degree from a highly ranked business school does generally increase my chances of getting a high-paying, exciting job outside of college. There's really no disagreeing with that. And now I've had so many people tell me all the time, especially from the yo community, oh, like, you should drop out of college, screw your internship, screw your full-time job, don't work for other people, just do social media full-time. But at the end of the day, I do appreciate the security of a really nice full-time job that is interesting for me, which I just recently set myself up for in the future. And you know, obviously I've still had a lot of fun with yo-yoing, but sometimes when you make something a side hustle or try to generate cash out of it, it takes a little bit of the fun out of the way. And I'm telling you this, I understand that doing social media full-time is totally possible, but if I have to rely on the number of views that I get on a certain YouTube video determining whether or not I am able to afford the, roof over my head or food on the table, that does not sound good to me. I hate the idea of having this dependency on the high variability of social media and that determining whether or not I can stay alive. Now, obviously, can people survive on just yo-yoing alone? Absolutely. I've seen people do it. If you love yo-yoing that much and you know you have a business plan that can really take you into a good financial position, I'd say go for it. But for me personally, turning that into such a full-time business takes a lot of the fun out of it, and I also hate the high risks that's associated with social media. And so for that reason, I've always kept yo-yo as a side hustle. Okay, so let me bring this all together here, starting with that video we saw from Logan Paul. It is exhausting to create those cringy TikToks that I used to make. And I'm just telling you this right now, acting like someone else in your videos is exhausting and it really just kind of sucks. And additionally, what would I even get by making viral TikTok content? A couple more brand deals, which get me a couple $100 more. Maybe some like clout that I'm seeking. Again, the ROI is not there. Coming back to that main concept, the amount of time that I could put into TikTok, what would I get in return from it? Very, very little. There are so many other things that I would rather be doing that are better for my overall development, things that are better for my learning and growth. And a little secret for everyone on social media and TikTok and all these social media platforms reward you for consistency. So sure, if I wanted to grind and make a ton of videos every single day on TikTok and get to 1 million followers on that platform, I realistically think that I could. But then what? Where would I be there? Sure, I'd have more followers than I do now. Maybe I'd have an extra brand deal or two. But seriously, where would that get me? Eventually, I would stop posting, I would start losing the amount of views that I get, and I'd be back to kind of square one. Again, living off of social media is so hard, and there's just way too much risk for me personally to do that. I'm not trying to bash anyone that does social media full time. I think it's a great career. But for me, I don't like the risks that's associated with social media in terms of living, and I would rather have a more secure job that I still enjoy while keeping TikTok and things like that as a side hustle. And so that's why I'm not making TikToks these days. It's just not worth my time. For the things that I prioritize in life right now, it is not at the top of my priority list. Now don't worry, I'm not gonna delete my TikTok account or any of these other social media accounts. Sometimes I just like to make fun TikTok videos, the different funny music that I find or stuff like that, or make some TikTok videos with my friends, and that's fun, I like it. And you know, maybe if I see a certain concept on social media and I think I could turn it into a yo-yo trick or something like that, I'll do it. But at the end of the day, TikTok is now just for fun. And who knows, maybe I think of some super awesome different TikTok trend that I can do over and over in a bunch of different ways that gets me a ton of money and things like that, that doesn't make me feel like cringe. Until I think of that, there's not gonna be any more of these, do you wanna see me do the DNA with 2 yo-yos? Blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't wanna bash any of the other yo-yo TikTokers and yo-yo social media people out there like Lucas or Evan, Brandon, or Angelo. I just challenge you to take a serious analysis of what you're doing and determine whether or not you're actually being yourself on camera. Personally, when I took this period of reflection and looked back, I realized that I was not being myself on camera and it just felt terrible. And so here's what the future is gonna look like for Instagram, my other social media platform. On there, I probably will just post stories here and there if I want to. I'll post new yo-yo tricks that I think of, but that'll really be the extent of that. I'll still be active though in watching my yo-yo feed. And now for YouTube. What's gonna happen to YouTube? I still do, like I mentioned before, love creating different reviews and tutorials. I think those are two things that are very helpful, and they personally bring me value, and I hope they bring you value. Now, I keep bringing up this concept of ROI. And so you're probably asking, Jonathan, what are you doing that's more important and better with your time? I'm glad you asked. So currently, I've been doing really well. I work for a social media agency, creating content for them, and it's a lot of fun. I've been learning and growing a ton, which is exactly what my goal was. Additionally, this past semester, I really focused on interviewing, specifically for consulting roles, and I finally got my dream job there, so I am so ecstatic about that. And then this last semester, I've really been pursuing my love for photography and videography, which is something that I've never really explored outside of yo-yo, and it's really been exciting. Life is really all about making decisions and determining how you spend your time. I personally choose to prioritize my time based on my goals. Now you're probably wondering, Jonathan, what happened to your signature yo-yo? I thought you were coming out with a signature yo-yo. Well, I'll tell you. A few years back, I partnered with Yo-Yo Factory, and more specifically Gentry Stein. He promised me in a long email all of these different benefits. One would be a signature yo-yo, one would be my own yo-yo shop, among a bunch of other things that he promised. And so when it came time for the signature yo-yo, I kind of sent them a couple ideas and a design. They shot back a design and also a prototype. I thought the prototype in general was decent. It's that red yo-yo that you've seen me playing with on Instagram before, and I think it's fine. However, I wanted a couple of different edits and changes here and there. So I sent them a long paragraph back explaining what I wanted changed. So they took that information and made a kind of newish modified yo-yo. But what they did is they made a whole ton of it. They put it into production immediately. I had expressed to them clearly that I wanted to test out this new signature yo-yo. At the end of the day, I'm not going to be promoting a yo-yo that I personally don't enjoy. So what I wanted to do was, after those edits were made after prototype 1, I would try out prototype 2, test it out, make sure it's up to my standard of liking, and then I can put my name on it, sign it off, and ship it out to you guys. The last thing I'm going to do is promote a yo-yo or a product that I personally don't like. And I would never put my name on something that I don't like. And so what they did is they kind of put it into production, made a whole bunch in a bunch of different colors without really asking. And they didn't respond for a while when I told them I wanted to try it out before it was actually in production. And at the end of the day, that yo-yo turned out to be the Yo-Yo Factory Halo. The Yo-Yo Factory Halo was never supposed to be Angelo's yo-yo, it was supposed to be mine. But still, I had some hope for it. I went back to the drawing board, I made a whole bunch of other designs and some ideas, along with names of the yo-yos. I sent them to Yo-Yo Factory, and then they ghosted me. And after literally about a year of not getting any responses back from them, I just severed the partnership. I was so sick and tired of being ignored, and it was just not worth my time. So I don't really know what's gonna happen to a signature yo-yo. It will not be with Yo-Yo Factory. In general, it was not a great experience working with Yo-Yo Factory, just to be perfectly candid. But again, I just wanna be honest with you guys about everything. So yeah, it feels really good to kind of get this all off my chest, because you guys have been wondering, and I kind of owe it to you. I really do appreciate you guys watching my content and sticking with me throughout all of these years. Social media and yo-yoing has honestly changed my life in so many positive ways, and I really couldn't have done it without you. In conclusion, TikTok will be for fun, just a couple of fun little yo-yo videos here and there. Instagram will be for cool new yo-yo tricks that I create, and on YouTube, I'll still upload yo-yo reviews and also some tutorials along the way. I just want you guys to know that genuinely, I'm doing really, really well. I've really set myself up for success in the future. So just know my happiness level is really, really high. Next semester, from January till May, I'll be studying abroad in Madrid, Spain, which I am literally so pumped for. I'll try to make some yo content here and there, but just want to give you guys a heads up about that. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure to comment down below any thoughts you have about this whole situation, your ideas on TikTok and yo-yoing. I'd love to know what everyone thinks. But that's about it for this video. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.